Hi guys, this is Waga and welcome to the channel. As always, like and subscribe. We are going to work on the final part of our color matchup, and as you can see on the right, we have the finished article. What we're going to work on is the submit button. When you, after making your various guesses or interpretations of the color, and you hit submit, it returns an answer. It says something like you're tetrachromatic. It has 4 answers. I will explain how we arrive at that and how we do it and how we show the alert dialog, how we calculate the values and the differences in circle A and circle B, and we'll talk about that today. Thank you. On our app, and first things first, we go to the preview circle. So we head on over to the preview circle over here, and we create first things we want to show the value, the actual value of the colors. This will help us understand how we calculate it will help us in calculating the score. So first things first, we could do is we could create a static variable. We're creating a static variable. A static variable is available in the class itself rather than instances of a class, meaning that we could use it elsewhere. We will use it in when we create the submit button to calculate. So we create a static variable here. We could say we could call it preview hex, preview hex, like this, and the hex is going to be equal to color dot colors preview dot, we get the value, the actual value. It will be converted into an integer, right? And we put, of course, this is that. Remember, we have to put semicolons at the end of statements. And to show this, right? It's called preview. Sorry, it's called preview hex. Preview hex, like this. Like so. So to show this, I think we can just put it under the preview circle, under this, right? So we could turn this into a column, wrap with a column, and we put this as a text, like so, and we return the preview hex. But remember, the preview hex, this is not a string, right? So we have to convert it to a string. It's currently an integer, so we convert it to a string so that it can appear in text, because text, you know, the first argument in text is usually a string, the first unnamed argument. I think we put a comma here, like so. So if we do this, we get the number. The number is 428 that. So we do this for the we've done this for the previous circle. We need to do it for the matches circle. We head on to our matches circle, and we basically do the same thing. We come here and we create a static variable. We can call it match hex, like so, and we come under the color. Under color, we say match hex equals color dot value, like this. So so to show it under the matches circle, we do the same thing. We wrap this in a column. Wait, why isn't it appearing? Come on, man. Yes, we wrap it to the column, and we type text there, and we pass in the I'm so used to putting quotation marks in text. We pass in the match hex dot to string, like so, and when we hit that, it appears like that. So we have the two numbers. We have this number and this number. So to get the value of how close you are to this number in the preview circle, we should get the difference and get the absolute value. And then yeah, and then we can have a tiered model where if you're this close to the absolute value, you get one score, and like that, like that, and we can divide it into as many pieces as the tier, into as many as we want. We will only work with four, so we'll have four quadrants: the upper quadrant, the next one, the third one, and then the lower quadrant. So depending on how close you are. The reasoning was that if you have 16 million options, right? Let's get our calculator so I can get it. Our calculator. And I've done this. I think I did this in the first video. 256 by 256 by 256. So these are the number of options you have, right? You have 16,777,000. Yeah. So if we were only to look at if somebody had to get it correct, I think it would be almost impossible. You have some of these shades are almost imperceptible to the human eye. So I thought I'd reduce it and divide this into four. Divide this into four, like so. So if we divide this into four, at least somebody has a higher chance of getting the score correct, right? Continue, and let's create the submit button. You could create a button independently and reuse it for the reset and submit because they almost look the same. However, I felt I just created it, and like we have reused the circle, right? We could also reuse the button. You're free to do so, but I didn't do the same here. And also, I think that this reset button fires off two methods, and this one is only going to fire off one, something like that. That's what I was thinking when I was originally building it. But let's do it now. So let's come here and to the lib folder and create new.file. New.file. We could call it submit. It's going to be a stateless widget, as I don't think we've used a stateful widget here. And we're going to call it submit, like so. And as usual, you're going to have to, let's give ourselves some bit of real estate. Let's import the Flutter material Flutter material like so. And what we return, we will use a raised button. I just think flat buttons look really, they're not aesthetically pleasing. But you could use it. We'll use a flat button in the dialog so that it can be fair. Yes, we've used both of the main buttons. Raised button, and it's basically the same as the reset button. So we could say the shape here is going to be rounded rectangle border, right? The border radius is going to be border radius to circular, right? It takes a double, so you could put 30.0, and yeah. And remember, we had originally said that the color of this submit button is going to be the same color as the preview circle here. So it's going to be this shade of purple, this deep shade of purple. Looks deeper than this. Is it purple? Or whatever, whatever is going on here is going to be the same thing that's going on here. So under this, we are going to have the color. Wait. It's supposed to be here around it. Oh, it's under the border. So we put the color here. The color here is going to be, let's say colors dot blue, like so. And then the child is going to be the text, right? I think the reason that you just can't, it's not one of the first arguments you put into a button is because they figure that some people would want icons as buttons. That's why we have to put text as a child. So we put here submit, like so, and we give it a bit of style, like we did the other one. We could say text style and color. Hopefully the color shown will not be white. You have a 1 in 16 million chance of getting exact white, so you might not see it. If you get it, tough luck, I guess. There's nothing I could do. If you get white, in the off chance that when you're building this app you get white, you have bad luck, terrible luck. On pressed, it's going to be empty for now. So yeah, and of course we want to see this, so we come to home. Unlike the original, we're going to put this under the reset. In the original, in the finished article that I normally show, we normally put it under the, what's it called, above the reset, but here we're going to put it under. So we come home, we come to home, and we put it under the above the reset. Let's put the reset as the final widget. So we put what's the name, submit, like so, and we put a comma, right? So yeah, so we have submit and reset. There. Take care of the color. So how do we do color? We come back to our submit, and we're obviously going to use the provider, right? That's the whole point of having the thing here. So we'd say var color equals provider dot of. We don't want it rebuilt every time, so we use provider.of. We use the preview model like so, and pass in the context so you can know where it is, and listen. We don't have to use the listen true, but it's good practice. It's in the documentation. So like this, and we import the preview model, and we import the, we import the provider package like so, and then we come down to where's the color. Color here, we can just set it as, color. I use a Pomodoro timer to keep me so I can take regular breaks. Yeah, so we have color as color, and we can't put it as color. It's going to be equal to color dot colors preview, like this. So if we do this, the color should change. So you see the color here is the same color as this, and when we reset, the colors change to mimic it. So there, done. The differences, and we do that by first to create a static variable for submit. So you can say static var difference. Put a semicolon here. This is data to all, and we create a method. We can call it message, which will display a message with the set value. So it will return a string, the message, and we can call it very creatively message. It will take in the difference, and yeah. So we are going to have the difference. The difference is going to be we get the value from the preview circle and the value from the matches, and then we subtract, and then we get the absolute value. So that it might be negative in one instance, right? So we always want it positive so that you can compare. So we would say preview circle dot preview hex, right? And we can put this in okay, we can put this in parentheses, and we subtract difference. This is supposed to be difference equals, sorry, it's supposed to be difference equals preview circle, and then we subtract it from the matches. No, matches supposed to be capitalized. Matches dot match hex, and we get the ab dot abs like this, right? Oh, supposed to put a column. This is dot after all. So yeah, so the difference is going to take the number here, this 429, and subtract this 4278, and then the difference, and get the absolute value so that it's always positive, right? And put it in the difference. Yeah, going to assign that to the difference. And we are going to have create an if statement. You could create switch, but I just used an if statement here. And we say if difference is less than, I already did the math before, but you can confirm. 419 4304. That means you're in the top quadrant. You're very close to the answer. You could say return top marks. Top marks. You have 20/20 vision. Something like this, right? Else if, because the others. Difference is less than, we multiply this by 2 to get the second quadrant, the upper limit, so it would be 8388608. It's still pretty good. You're in the second highest quadrant. You would return your eyesight is pretty good. You are tetrachromatic. Yeah, some people can actually see 4 colors more than others. And we have another else if here. You can put another else if for the third quadrant. Else if, else if the difference is, we take this and multiply it by 3. So if it's 12, 5, 8, 29, 12, 29, 12, like this. If the difference is less than this, right, like so, we return the string to say you need to chomp on carrots, not even close. Give yourself a bit more real estate, like so. And yeah, and then finally we put in an else at the end. That is if you're completely, it's white and it's black. You're in the bottom quadrant, we could say return you are color blind, stay away from traffic lights. I put that, right? So depending on what somebody submits, this is going to be the message they get. Top marks, you have 20/20 vision, that's the top. Your eyesight is pretty good, you're tetrachromatic, that's the second. You need to jump on a carrot, not even close, that's the third. And if they're really, really far off, you are colorblind, stay away from traffic lights. Okay, it's now time to build the alert dialog. So for that, we come over here and we create the method that will show the alert dialog. So we could say show dialog, like so. Yeah, and you could say show dialog. We pass in the context. The context is going to be the context, like so. And the builder is going to be build context, like this, right? And we're going to return an alert dialog. The title is going to be text. We're going to tell the player thank you for playing. Thank you for playing. And the content is going to be text with the message difference. whatever is evaluated from that. Sorry, I'll put the comma here. And the actions, we're going to have a flat button. You could put a raised button if you want. The child is going to be text of close. You could put an icon with the X, but I thought let's just make it explicit. On pressed, it's going to close the alert dialog, so you could go with navigator dot of context so it can know it is context dot pop like so, and of course yeah, so we have show dialog, and we need to put a comma semicolon here. This is that after all. And to finish it all up, we come to onPressed here and we pass in the message. We call the message the difference, so that the difference is calculated every time the submit is hit, right? If we do it before, I think we'd get an error. And no, this is that, fires that off, and then here we have show dialog, like so. Yeah, so if all this works, we should get a value when we hit the submit button. So let's try it out. So let's try this, and hit submit. Top marks, you have 20/20 vision. My vision's pretty good. Let's try and change it a bit. Yeah, I think I'm further away. I'm still in the top marks category. Let's try it. Okay. Yeah, finally get something different. Your eyesight is pretty good. You're tetrachromatic. I'm on the second quadrant. Let's try and get the third quadrant. Your eyesight is pretty good. Let's see. Your eyesight is pretty good. Increase blue. Your eyesight is pretty good. So yeah, you have to work it out until you get. Okay, I can't seem to get the third quadrant, but I'm pretty sure it's there. Let's do this. Yeah, eyesight is pretty good. Okay. A bit more difficult than I anticipated. You need to chomp a carrot. Finally, I'm on the third quadrant. Now getting the fourth quadrant is going to be it's going to be a lot harder. So there, all four quadrants. One quick cleanup before we go is we could get rid of these numbers. They don't look good and they shouldn't be on the finished article. These are just to show us the values, the various values. You could leave them, but I'm going to get rid of them. So first we would go over to the preview circle, and what we could do is we could remove this text here, and we could leave it as a column, but we could also just get rid of the column. So remove this widget. So let's just return a circle like this, and yeah, like so. That's the problem. Okay. Like that, yeah. So we've gotten rid of that. And next, we do the same for the matches. Let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this text. Let's get rid of this text, right? Start off with getting rid of the text. Like this, and then we could leave it as a column, or we could remove it. Let's just remove the column. Remove this widget. Let me plug in my laptop. Okay, remove this widget. Okay, so there. So yeah, Now we have completed our app. Everything works. Let's see if we make a submission. Your eyesight is pretty good. Your tetrachromatic. If we hit reset, we get new colors. If we try and get this looks like a very light shade of blue. Oh god, I'm missing it. Submit. Top marks. Oh, I'm in the top quadrant. Yeah, so our app is basically finished, and we've done everything we set out to do in the 8 or 9 videos that we created on this. Please like and subscribe. And I'd like to ask, how else could we improve it? Maybe we could add a timer so it can give it a sense of urgency, make somebody play it faster, and things like that. Those are some of the things that we could add at the end of the app, and maybe I'll come back to it. But I think I should move on and build something else. Thank you for watching, and have a good day.